Hey friend, I'm Olivia. Welcome back to Slay the Princess. Whatever horrors you may find in these dark spaces, have heart and see them through. There are no premature endings. There are no wrong decisions. There are only fresh perspectives and new beginnings. This is a love story.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess.
This time, I'm going to take the pristine blade, and we're going to try a different path to see where we end up. There are so many paths, and I don't know how to get to all of them. This is what I was trying to get last time, because we got eaten, but it didn't work. So we're gonna try something else, and then if it works, it works, and if it doesn't, we're still gonna get a princess. We're still gonna get endings. So let's go.
You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
Killing a princess seems kind of bad, though, doesn't it?
Does it? Are you a monarchist? Is slaying a princess that much worse than slaying a fisherman or a miller or a seamstress? If anything, slaying a princess is much better than slaying a seamstress. Seamstresses contribute something of value to society.
How about slaying a person is bad, Mr. Narrator Dude? Have you considered that maybe I'm okay with the world ending? Do I get some sort of reward?
But you'll have to slay her before you get it.
But can I know what it is? Can you tell me what my prize will be?
It's a secret, but I think you'll like it. It's a special reward, just for you. And whatever you think it might be, I can promise you it's going to be even better than your wildest imagination.
It's purgatory. It's staying in the cabin forever and existing, never changing, never doing anything. It's oblivion, and it's terrible. Let's go to the cabin.
Don't mention it. It's all part of the job. You make your way up the short path to the cabin. You'll find the princess within. A warning before you go any further.
Yes?
She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says. We're not going to go through with this, right? She's a princess. We're supposed to save princesses, not slay them. Ignore him. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
Let's go. There'll be no mirror this time.
The interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare. The air is stale and musty, and the floor and walls are painted in a fine layer of dust. The only furniture of note is a plain wooden table. Perched on that table is a pristine blade. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
I will take the blade.
You take the blade from the table. It'd be rather difficult to slay the princess and save the world without it.
Let's enter the basement.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase faintly illuminated
She's
by an
gonna be
unseen light in the room
hostile
below.
because we have the blade already.
This is an oppressive place. The air feels heavy and damp, a hint of rot filtering from the ancient wood. If the princess really lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. Her voice carries up the stairs.
Who's there?
You see? That's not the hello? Is somebody there?
She sounds dangerous. It's almost as if she's the one in charge down here.
Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation.
Let's be nice.
Oh, it's been so long since anyone's come down here. I was starting to think they'd forgotten about me.
Because we don't want to slay her
You
if we
walk down
don't
the
have
stairs
to.
and
So
lock
we'll be
eyes with the
nice, we will
princess.
chat.
There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement.
She's so coldly beautiful. Is she really a threat to the world?
Focus on the task at hand.
And there you are. Are you here to kill me or something?
I'm just here to talk.
Then why did you bring a knife with you?
Just in
How
case
about
I
you
need it.
drop it, and then we can chat.
I might need it.
She makes a compelling point. What if we just dropped the blade and talked? Look at her. It's not like she's a threat. Don't you dare. It's fine. We can decide what we want to do after we talk to her. Maybe she really is a monster, but killing someone in cold blood isn't very becoming of us.
Let's not drop it.
You ignore the trembling in your hands and tighten your grip on the blade.
You poor thing. Your hands are shaking. Are you scared of me? Because you should be.
You step forward, your grip on the blade tightening as you steel your resolve.
I'm probably chained up in this basement for a reason, right? And if that knife is the only weapon you have, you'll have to get close enough to use it. So, you should just drop it. Best not to risk finding out what I can do.
She's unarmed. If you hesitate now, it'll be too late. End this.
Oh, but I want to hesitate. What if she isn't bluffing? What if she
You
kills
go into
us?
this expecting to die. You're going to die.
Sure.
Hesitating? Why don't you drop the knife and the two of us can be civilized with each other?
I'm not dropping the knife.
Then I'm not talking to you.
Oh, that's a shame. I can squint at the princess while holding onto the blade.
You stare at the princess, squinting. She squints back. The two of you are gonna do this forever, aren't you?
Squint at the princess even harder. Are you sure you don't want to talk?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Okie dokie.
For goodness sake, the two of you can't just stand around like this forever. Eventually, something is going to give, and I highly recommend that you be the one to take the initiative here.
Alright.
You charge the princess, blade trembling in your hand, but you've already lost the battle.
What? What do you mean?
She casually sidesteps your thrust before knocking you to the ground with a single blow from her elbow.
Oh dear.
We shouldn't have hesitated.
But she doesn't stop there. She kicks you a few times for good measure, the pointed tip of her shoes feeling like a pickaxe against your fracturing bones, making sure you stay down. As you lie, crushed and broken on the basement floor, the princess kneels on your throat with the kind of weight you didn't think her slight frame could possibly possess. As you gasp for air, she eyes you with an intense curiosity. You shouldn't have let that fear creep into your heart. You had the upper hand,
Well, we dropped the
and
blade.
now look at you.
Is this really the best you could do? Look at you. Completely broken. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't a
thought
little
I needed
disappointed.
the blade.
She applies more pressure, slowly squeezing what's left of your life out of your lungs. This is the end, isn't it? I'm afraid it is. Everything goes dark, and you die.
This is not where I thought we were going.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. and in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
Let's go to the cabin.
A warning before you go any further. She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says.
We might as well just pledge ourselves to her and stop pretending we're capable of doing anything in this situation. She probably doesn't even need to try to overpower us.
Can we tone down the pessimism just a smidge?
I know, he's got a point.
I'm not being a pessimist. I'm just being realistic.
You're being annoying.
I'm not annoying. Oh, maybe I am a little bit.
Just ignore their bickering, and whatever you do, don't pledge yourself to her.
Oh, now I have
Cannot
to.
stress enough how absolutely catastrophic that would be for everyone, yourself included.
Specifically because the narrator told me not to do it, now I have to do
agree.
it.
If she's wrongfully imprisoned, then we should rescue her, but if he's telling the truth, we shouldn't just hand her the world on a silver platter.
Right, let's go do that.
Given the stakes of the situation, there isn't really a difference between rescuing her and pledging yourself to her. Either would be terrible. So please try to ignore both of those knuckleheads and focus on saving the world.
I'm gonna
Let's
save my world. As soon as we slay the princess, the world ceases to exist. So,
If that's what you want.
by not
I guess
doing
I
that,
don't
the
have a
world
say here.
will continue. I guess. Hopefully.
The interior of the
Ooh.
cabin is larger and more grandiose than its humble exterior would suggest. The only furniture of note is a massive marble altar with a pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right. Why do we feel so small?
Because everything's so big.
We don't feel small. We are small.
We're not small, everything is just bigger than us. We're not short, we're perfectly average height. Everything else is just big.
You walk up to the wall next to the basement door. It's a wall. There isn't much to see here. What are you talking about? This
It
isn't
isn't a wall, it's a mirror.
It's a mirror.
At least it would be a mirror.
Or at least it'll be a mirror once we wipe off that layer of grime.
Wipe the mirror clean, we
You
look
reach
ridiculous.
forward and rub your hand against the cabin wall. I hope you know how
Rup, rup, rup,
ridiculous you look right now.
We should count ourselves
Look,
lucky.
the cabin just needs a
Some
pat.
things are
It's a
better
good
left
cabin.
unseen.
Enter the
No
basement.
blade this time. Yeah. Maybe she'll be more receptive if we're unarmed.
Blade, no blade. It doesn't matter.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a spiral staircase. Its steps almost as deep as you are tall. The smell of incense drifts up from below. For a moment, you almost feel at ease.
This is actually kind of nice.
It's still a stone basement. If the princess lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor.
Yeah, I doubt that.
Her booming voice rolls up the stairs.
Is that a guest I hear? Don't linger on the stairs. Come down and witness me.
Oh. She's very, authoritative?
You weren't kidding when you said it was booming. She wasn't like this last time.
You shouldn't have come down here unarmed.
It'll be
We need to
fine.
get down there. She wants us to see her. We need to see her.
Should we be worried about your sudden change in attitude? Just a few minutes ago you were going on about how pointless everything was. Now you want to go down there.
He wants to do as he's told because he has no will of his own because he's broken.
It doesn't matter what that little voice says. He's not the one making the decisions. Though if his ramblings get you to the princess, they get you to the princess.
Continue downstairs. Let's go.
Making your way down the spiral staircase is a time-consuming and exhausting effort, every step requiring you to clamber over one edge before dropping to the next.
but soon the end comes into view, and you tumble to the bottom, entering the vast, temple-like room beyond. The princess towers over you, almost glowing in the weak starlight, her figure framed by a stained glass window. Her long hair billows around her, and a chain binds her wrist to the far wall. The chain is nothing to her. It might as well be a toy for all the good it would do. I told you it was pointless to resist her.
The little bird has returned to me. I wonder what he wants. I see your hands are empty. You've already given up, haven't you? You aren't even going to try and kill me. How sweet.
I would rather not kill anyone, thank you.
And more than a little disappointing.
Rude.
She's disappointed in us?
Kneel.
No, I don't want to do what the narrator said. I don't like being told what to do. But I did not bring a weapon. And if I tell her no, she'd probably step on us.
On her command, you fall to the floor, knees painfully connecting with hard stone.
That's my good little bird. Now, why don't we talk?
Do I really get an option?
The last time we met, you tried to kill me. And yet here you are again. This time groveling at my feet. What a wretched sight.
Well, this was not my planned path.
What draws you back here beyond the empty halls of death?
I don't know.
Speak.
The last time we met,
The long
nobody
quiet?
should have met her before this. You should be the first. You're the only one I trust to deal with her.
Then you shouldn't have trusted us. There was nothing we could do to stop her then, and there's nothing we can do to stop her now.
He's being melodramatic, but yeah, we've been here before, and she absolutely destroyed us. What are we even supposed to do to stop her? That's worrying. Whatever you do, don't tell her why you're here. It's best not to give her any ideas.
What was her question? Let's tell her that she's supposed to end the world.
You weak-willed buffoon.
It's called being honest, Mr. Narrator.
Is that so?
The princess closes her eyes in contemplation.
Something about that thought wraps itself around my heart. It feels like a fundamental truth to my being that I'd somehow forgotten. The collapse of the old is a necessary prelude to the birth of the new, and the world as it is now is overdue for alterations. It's time for me to seize my destiny, and you, little bird, will help me seize it.
She's inevitable. There's nothing else for us to do but help her. Maybe she'll be nice to us.
What would you have me do? What do you have planned? Just because you're supposed to end the world doesn't mean you actually have to do it. You can be whatever you want to be. I have questions for you before deciding to do anything. I don't think she will let us ask questions or say that we have questions. I do not believe she will let us question her. I believe all of these will end very badly for us. What would you have me do?
All you have to do is break these chains and set me free.
You can't break them yourself? If you're so powerful, can't you just break the chains yourself?
Don't be rude. Of course she can.
It's not rude to question someone who's apparently trying to end the world.
I just wanted to know. She can break the chains any other time.
That's exactly why it's rude. We should know our place.
Yeah, I hate knowing my place.
I can, easily. But that isn't what I want to do. The story of a terrible and bountiful god unbounded of her own will is no story at all. It's not worthy of everything I am, or everything I'm bound to become. It isn't even worthy of what I was. The destruction in Genesis that's to follow in my wake is deserving of a song that can echo for eternity. The song of you, being so struck by my glory, so overwhelmed by what I am, that you feel you must deliver me into the world. And from your act of utter devotion and submission springs a new dawn, a better dawn. Submit now, submit later. It makes no difference. Because in the end, no matter how vainly you struggle against me, my will triumphs over yours.
You don't have to end the world?
This isn't about desire. This is about what I am. And I have little interest in discussing destiny with one that cannot see the divine truth that shines in my heart.
You're not worth having the conversation with, I see. I have questions for you before I decide to do anything.
Know the limits of your privilege, little bird.
Ah, of course.
There's an empty place at my side for you to fill, if you'll have it. But it is not a place for an equal. It is a place for something worthy to be kept. A priest, perhaps. Or a pet.
I'm nobody's pet. It appears I don't get a choice now. For all my other choices led to this.
Your will was so easily broken. Am I that magnificent? All you need to do now is break my chains.
If this is what you want, then I guess there's not much else for me to say. No, you can't just give in to her, not when the stakes are so high, not when you're so close. I won't let you do this.
There's still something in the way. A greasy film inside of you where it doesn't belong, trying to conceal you from me. Is that a person? No, it used to be a person. It's something different now. An echo.
Yes, that's what the narrator calls himself.
Is she talking about you?
She is.
That's impossible. She's not supposed to be able to interact with me.
You're a small one, aren't you? A shriveling little worm stretched beyond its limits, trying to control things that it can't understand.
No. What are you talking about? I
don't care what you are. You're mine. Rise, my little bird.
My little birdie.
Without hesitation, you're brought to your feet.
Huh. She took control of the narrator.
Break my chains.
And how are we supposed to do that? We don't even have a weapon.
All you need to do is believe it's been done.
And what if I don't believe? What happens then?
You poor, wretched little thing. You already do believe. You've always believed. All you have to do is open the last door to your heart.
It's easy. And once you let her in, you'll be safe and free forever.
Please, don't do this.
You don't really
There's
have a
nothing
choice,
to be
Mr.
sorry
Hero.
about. This is how it was always going to be. And It is good.
Alright, I'm done with this. I'm just gonna go sit in the corner. Let me know if we get our agency back.
Yeah, I don't think we will. I think we have become a pawn or a pet to this.
Her chains shatter, and the cuff falls from her wrist.
No one
She is
heard
loose,
that.
and the end is upon us.
It lies. The cuff is still there.
What a good disciple you are. Come, it's time for us to leave.
What happens now?
Nothing. And then, everything.
Oh, she's gone. But you do not take her hand, nor will you ever. It's time to leave. Memory returns.
She's gone. Where did she go? Should we try and find her?
I think not.
And there's that mirror again. Why is it here? Why now?
It's going to be okay. Just trust me. We've been here before, and you always get
But
scared.
it feels so bad. Like looking into it right now is going to be the end of everything. I don't want to look at us.
I'll see you on the other side. It's going to be okay.
Okay. If you say so. We'll trust you. A mercy.
How do we look now? You approach the mirror. Silence as you reach forward. They're gone once again. The mirror always makes them leave, but you need to see what's in it. You've unraveled. You find yourself in the long quiet once again. You are at the cabin.
There's a world beyond the endless walls of the long quiet. We're supposed to be there. Do you know what we'll find out there?
There's trees and stars, and there are people, I think. At least there used to be people. They're supposed to be people.
There is a warmth and sadness in me at the thought of people. Fresh tears on a winter's day. They are not like us. They do not last.
Do you have thoughts on this vessel?
This one is dominance, a figure capable of bending everything to her will. She will make for an overwhelming heart. Do not mourn her, for she would not be able to mourn you.
How many more vessels do I need to bring you?
One. Whatever you bring me next will be enough, and then gravity will pull the others back to me. I will be singular, a final multitude.
Right. If this is the last stage before your completion, then I'm not going back. I'm just going to stay here.
You've already tried waiting, but I understand if you need more time. I'll wait with you.
There is no waiting forever. I'm ready to go back.
The next time I see you, each of us will finally know what we are. I will be here, waiting for you.
Everything goes dark, and you die. This was not the path I was planning on. I don't know where I went wrong. But I'm gonna try again next time. Once again, I am Olivia, and this is Slay the Princess. And until next time, have a safe journey.